To Ukraine now, where intensified Russian attacks on the country's energy infrastructure have plunged millions into darkness, cold and water shortages. On Wednesday, a state of emergency was declared for the entire energy sector, with temperatures below -10 degrees Celsius, continued strikes and no rapid recovery in sight. The worst energy crisis since the war began is pushing parts of the population to the brink.
It's Ken Harbaugh with the Midas Touch Network. It has been a bitterly cold week here in Ohio, even colder in Minneapolis, where I just was. But then I try to imagine that kind of cold without power, without heat, with bombs raining down constantly. My thoughts are never far from my friends in Ukraine, which is experiencing one of the coldest winters it's had in years, while suffering an onslaught of Russian missile and drone attacks against civilian infrastructure. I got an update from Phil Ittner, a U.S. journalist based in Kyiv and host of On the Edge. I've actually borrowed Phil's studio during past trips to Ukraine. Right now, however, much of the city is without heat and power, including Phil's studio, so I caught up with him in his apartment after yet another night of Russian attacks. Here's me and Phil Ittner, and please consider helping out by clicking the link below to support donations of life-saving generators to Ukraine. Thanks. Phil, welcome to the show. Tell us where you are, what the situation is like. We're hearing reports, but there's nothing like talking to someone on the ground in Kyiv in the aftermath or in the midst, you tell me, of yet another Russian drone attack that is targeting not military installations, but civilian infrastructure and civilians themselves. And the worst part of it, I think we'll get to this too, the first responders. I mean, I don't think there is anything more vile in the conduct of warfare than that kind of double tap. Over to you.
Yeah. Ken, thanks for having me on. And one of the major things that we need to do is raise awareness about what's going on here. We are literally barreling down towards a major humanitarian crisis in Ukraine. They have knocked out power. The Russians have knocked out power in many cities. They have specifically targeted the less defensible locations like substations, transformers. They have hit major power plants in the past, and this is after years of campaigning against a civilian. This is a war crime. This is an attack on civilian infrastructure. They sometimes make the argument that, because the military needs the electrical grid, it's a legitimate target. Well, not in the way they're doing it. What they're doing is they're depriving the people of this city, and I say this city because I'm living here, and depriving them of heat, water, electricity, either all three or a mix of those. Like, I have water, but I don't have electricity, so I don't have heating either because of that. So I rely on these massive solid state batteries, or these power stations that you can charge up when you do get electricity, and then hope